Let's freaking go. Rangers win, baby, 6-2 over the Tampa Bay Lightning. I had to check the notes there again because I certainly didn't have that on my bingo card. The Rangers going out there in game one, winning 6-2, just scoring 6 goals on Andrei Vasilevsky of all people. Yeah, definitely didn't think that was going to happen, but hey, I'm not going to complain whatsoever. 9-day rest for the Lightning. If it's that, we'll see, but they still managed to get 6 past Andrei Vasilevsky, and I'm not going to complain. And the reason that this is going up a day later is because I was at the game, so I wanted a chance to rewatch the game, pick up on things that I may have missed, since, of course, when you're at the game, you don't get the replays that you do back at home on TV. So that's why this is going up a day later, but I'll be able to get game 2 up because I'm definitely not going to be going to game 2. Won't be, or I will be getting that one up right after the game, but what an effort for the Rangers. One of the best games that they have played the entire season, without a doubt. And I'm not going to complain at all. Not going to complain at all. But before we dive into the action here, be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially for Ranger fans. We recap every single game here on the channel. Turn the notifications on, as always, so you know when I upload. But the Rangers came out. They came out hot as they score a minute and 11 in, and it is Kreider from Zibanejad Vetrano. Fox makes a great defensive play, and he sends Mika and Kreider on a 2-on-1. Well, I guess Vetrano tipped it and then sent them on a 2-on-1. Mika then makes a beautiful pass as he stops right before he goes behind the goal line. Feeds it to Kreider, who's left wide open because Bogosian just made a piss-poor play. Kreider snipes that one. Rangers go up 1-0 early. Tampa then, they started to get into the game a bit, so it was a bit scary though, because I didn't like how much the Rangers took their foot off the gas after that first goal. I'm not going to lie. I think that they should have tried to put the pressure on more, but at the same time, it's kind of a wake-up call for Tampa Bay as they got chances. Biden Goudreau made some huge blocks on that Sergachev and Ruda pair. And unfortunately, though, Rangers get caught in the D zone for too long, and Steven Stamkos with a rocket of a shot goes high blocker, and that makes it 1-1. That's from Ruda and Cirelli. Just the defense got absolutely scrambled completely. Nothing that anyone could have done there. Igor didn't really have time to make a stop there as Trouba was kind of screening him a bit. So not going to be mad at Igor. Not going to be mad at anyone for that one. I guess you could be mad that they didn't win the initial D-zone draw, but it is what it is. Igor then makes a huge stop on Kucherov as he tries to deflect the puck in. So Igor then, he wakes up. Paul then absolutely cooks Keandre Miller, completely undresses him, gets a 2-on-1, and he sets up Kucherov. He missed that one. So Kucherov had a bit of a rough game there. Mika then, his line with a great shift. They were so dominant last night, getting in on the forecheck, and it's nice to see that because we were waiting for that all Pittsburgh. They finally picked up a bit in Carolina, and if they're going to do this all series, it might be quick for Tampa Bay if the first line could get going the way that they have. And I also said that the second line does need to get going. They definitely did a bit towards the end of the game, which we'll talk about there. But yeah, I mean, with the way the third and the first line are playing, if the second line somehow picks it up more also, this is going to be a very quick series for Tampa Bay, but that will remain to be seen. And then Igor makes another huge stop on Kucherov as he got set up from behind the net from Pat Maroon, of all people, who made a beautiful pass. And Igor somehow moves right in front to the shot, and he stops that one. Igor then just continues to rob them. Hagel then goes off for holding, and unfortunately, this power play was very disgusting. Mika had one good chance on that power play. Absolutely disgusting. But overall, the Rangers that was probably their worst period of the game, arguably. But 12-8 in favor of Tampa for shots. I don't like the way the Rangers play in the middle of the period, but the start and the end were very good, in my opinion. Second period, the Mika line had a great shift to start the period. So nice to see them going all game. Refs then, they missed a blatant too many men on as Stamkos hits his feet and there's too many men, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain about that. It's not like it made a difference. Truba then just absolutely blows a tire in the neutral zone. That led to a 2-on-1, but Vetrano somehow bats it out of the air. That Cirelli passed to Palat. So Vetrano with a nice little back check. Where was Keandre Miller on that? I don't know, but I'm not going to lie. If I had to nitpick something, wasn't too big of a fan of those two, but we'll talk about that. But the Rangers then do score and make it 2-1 as Vetrano scores from Adam Fox. And Fox, he has a great keep into the zone, and he sets him up. Vetrano just snipes that one high blocker. 2-1. Strome then misses on a 2-on-1 as they had a chance to make it a 3-1 game. Vasilevsky with just a sick pad stack save. And the Rangers still have a 2-1 game. And unfortunately, though, Palat picks up a rebound from Cirelli and Stamkos, and that makes it 2-2. But the Rangers would answer right after as the third line with an insane shift. Kakko sets up Hedl from behind the net, and Hedl buries that one in the slot. That makes it 3-2. Lafreniere also gets the assist. And then Mika, he gets a chance. That's gloved by Vasilevsky. The Rangers not too long after make it 4-2 as Filip Hedl, that shift, they're calling it the shift, and it was one of the best shifts that the Rangers have had all postseason, and that's playoff type hockey there that you need. And just a really beautiful shift. The fourth line starts that long shift in the offensive zone, and Fox, he makes a great jumping play to keep it in. Sets up, pass it to Miller. Miller with a beautiful pass to Hedl, who snipes that one, and that ends up making it a 4-2 game. Lafreniere gets an assist from that as well as Miller. And the Rangers dominated that period. That was probably their best period all postseason. 17-10 in favor of the Rangers for shots in that period. And the third period, very quiet period. The Rangers come out buzzing again 30 seconds in. They already make it 5-2. And Trouba, he sets up Kopp and Panarin for a 2-on-1. Kopp feeds it to Panarin. Panarin with a beautiful snipe. Where is this Panarin? We need him more. And if we get that Panarin, it's going to be a problem for Tampa, like I've been saying. And Braun then goes off for tripping. Igor makes a huge save on Corey Perry. Then Stamkos ends up whacking him. Scary situation as Igor went down. I don't really know what exactly happened still. It didn't look like that big of contact, to be completely honest with you. So he ends up staying in the game. No shock there. But being at the game, I'll tell you my hard shot. But on the replay at home, I don't know what happened there. Rangers end with a huge kill. Killorn then goes off for a hooking penalty. And Panarin, he sets up Mika, who it took him 3 tries, but he buries one. And that pretty much puts the nail in the coffin to make it a 6-2 game. And not much else happened this period. A couple of scrums and everything. The Rangers took a couple penalties, which drove up the shots for Tampa. And there was a huge scrum. The Rangers take a penalty on that one. But overall, what a freaking game for the Rangers. And shots in the third period, 17-9 in favor of Tampa. Like I said, the shots kind of got driven up due to Tampa getting power plays. Shots in the game, 39-34 in favor of Tampa Bay. Face-off percentage, 60-40 in favor of the Rangers. Wow, we out face-offs a team. Hits, 26 even. 15-13 in favor of Tampa for block shots. Belmar with a beautiful block shot, by the way, on that power play that Mika scored on. I do got to give credit there, as Panarin with a rocket of a shot. And unfortunately, though, it didn't help as he was caught up on the ice there. Giveaways, 28 for Tampa, 23 for the Rangers. Rangers forced a lot of turnovers. The Rangers had a lot of turnovers, though, in the first period. And I thought for sure we were going to see a line change, considering in that first period, the top, not the top two, the second line, the third line turned the puck over a lot. I thought we were going to see a line change, but we didn't. So it ended up working out for sure. The first line definitely was the best line of the night. Kreider, Zibanejad, and Vetrano, they were absolutely unreal. Vetrano with 3 shots on goal, 5 hits. He was looking good. Mika with 7 shots on goal. He had himself a great game. Kreider as well. He was probably the most underwhelming of that line, but he still had a great game. That line was forechecking so well. I don't really remember a lot of times where they spent so much time in the defensive zone, which was nice to see. And we need more of that from them. Second line, they picked it up a bit towards the end. I'd like to see more from them still. Panarin, Strome, and Kopp, that is. I like what I saw from them, though. Overall, Kopp has just been so good defensively. Strome, this guy can't bury an open net and just keeps getting robbed nonstop. And Panarin, if he could score more goals like he did tonight, I'm here for that. I'm here for that, and that would be great. Third line, Lafreniere, Chytil, Kakko. Yeah, you know them at this point. I said before the season that these young players would be a difference maker for this team. And if they got hot and had a monster playoffs, this team would be on a roll. And sure enough, they are a huge reason why this team is still competing for the Stanley Cup right now, because the second line, when they're not there, this line has been there. When the first line hasn't been there, they've been there. They've just been so freaking good all postseason. Lafreniere has been unreal. You're seeing why he went first overall. Chytil, I mean, this guy has more goals in the postseason than he had in the regular season probably at this point. Let's see, actually, if that's true. But Kakko, I mean, Chytil's 1 goal shy of that. But Kakko, for as much as it looked like he was struggling early on, he has looked really good as of lately. So this is a problem for teams. And then the fourth line, I don't know why I almost said Rooney, but Mott, Gaudreau, and Reeves, they were really good. And fun to see them in that scrum at the end of the game. But very happy with their play. And I thought that they were the best line in the first period, and they were the only line really producing offensively in that first period. So nice to see them get going as well. It's nice to be able to see Gallant roll out all 4 lines the way that he has. For the defense, Lindgren and Fox, unbelievable game, especially from Adam Fox. He is quietly having one of the best postseasons ever, and at least point production wise, but he had one of the best games of the entire postseason. That he was actually noticeable tonight is what I'm trying to make as the point here. He was very noticeable, keeping plays going, keeping the forecheck alive, making great defensive plays. And then Lindgren, he has just been a warrior. I keep saying it, and it's true. Miller and Trouba, they were definitely the worst defensive pair. They didn't have that bad of a game as it went on, but there were too many times where they were letting forwards behind them. They were letting 2-on-1s happen. It's something that we saw in the regular season happen, and that needs to stop and be fixed for next game. But overall, I'm not going to complain too much considering the end result here. So, yeah, I really shouldn't be complaining that much. And then Braun and Schneider, they had a decent game. There were times where I thought that they had a bad shift. Braun in the second period, I think it was, I remember him having a pretty bad defensive play, and Schneider was left alone, but thankfully Igor came up with a big save there. But overall, not too bad there, and they were a part of that big scrum at the end. Nice to see Schneider getting under the skin a bit of Tampa Bay. Nice to see that, and once this guy develops a shot, by the way, he's going to be unreal. Freaking love Schneider. And then Igor, I can't say enough good things about Igor Shesterkin. I mean, he came up huge, made big stops, and yeah, you heard the Igor's better chance. And as to if you think that was premature or not, you decide there. But overall, the Garden was a madhouse that night. I was very happy to be there, as that was probably the loudest the building has been, not just all season, but for me being there, that was probably the last sporting event I've ever attended. And I went to Carl Hagelin's OT winner in 2015 against the Penguins. That was the best game I've been to still. This game last night is what I'm saying. Best game that I've been to. Just to dominate Tampa Bay when it was just completely unexpected. Unreal. But that is going to do it for me. Sorry for not getting the Twitter. I figured no point considering I'm doing this a day later. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new, especially for Ranger fans. Turn the notifications on, and I will see you in the next one. Let's go Rangers.